Yes, it happened. It finally happened. 315 is in service. It is happening. Okay, the day I'm currently filming this is Saturday, July 10th, 2021. I filmed basically what I'm doing here a few days ago, and I looked like an absolute idiot in there. I'm going to show you some clips of that as we go on. But I looked like an absolute idiot because I kept saying, oh, I'm going to be 78 years old by the time they run number 315 in service, this and that. I was, you know. And then what happened literally, I think about 2 days after I filmed that video, which I hadn't even edited or anything yet. I check on the Rose City Transit website, boom, 315 Orange Line to Milwaukee. What? So, naturally, at about 11 o'clock that morning, we left the house to take the Max into Portland, and I was there at the Pioneer Place Max station, and the train showed up at exactly 1:08 p.m., or at least it was supposed to. It actually showed up a few minutes early, so it was a good thing we were waiting there already. Got on the train at 1:08, and I took it all the way to Milwaukee. And I got some pictures, which those pictures that you saw, I uploaded a little teaser video where I showed you some of the pictures I got. Those were going, those pictures, I took all of those at the Southeast Park Avenue station in Milwaukee. Then I filmed some more shots of the inside of the train and went back. Now those videos I filmed on here. This is being filmed on my camcorder. I always film on this camcorder, Panasonic camcorder, but I rarely take photos and videos with my phone, and when I do, it almost always never ends up on YouTube. It's just whatever I feel like taking pictures of. But that time, that is something that I believe all of you guys wanted to see. It was that day. And now today, this is day 2, at least at the time of me filming this, of them running number 315, and today they did the big decision. They decided to run it on the blue line. Now, I'm going to put a little calendar in the description if I remember. I'm keeping track on my actual calendar by writing it with a Sharpie. Don't you still use calendars? I feel like I'm quite old school and still use calendars, like actual calendars. But anyway, I've been marking on there. On Friday, July 9th, I put orange. Today I put blue. We'll see what other lines it runs on. And then I'll put in the description so that if you can look back on this in like 15 or 20 years and you can see how it all started. Remember, it was probably about a week to 2 weeks they were testing number 315 out on the tracks. And then there was nothing, and then there was nothing, and then there was nothing, and then there was nothing. And now it's been 12 months and there's still nothing. Well, sorry, there wasn't a whole lot of stuff to this video. Again, if something happens over the next few days, so hopefully in August's video, it will be in service. I don't understand it. It's like they just keep forgetting, oh yeah, we've spent how much money on this train? We've spent the last... No passengers had been on this train in like 2 years. Nah, let's just keep it out of service. As you can see, I'm not real happy about that. But maybe by the time I'm 78 years old, they'll run it. I think at some point that day, a few people commented under one of my videos and said, 315 is running. You need to look at this. And I already knew. I didn't look at any comments. I hadn't even gone on YouTube that day. And I checked that list, that Rose City Transit list of all the vehicles, and I saw 315 running on there, and I knew I had to do it. And yes, I do look at my comments, and no, I don't reply often. If you ask me a content-related question, then you might get a reply out of me. So yes, contrary to what you think, I do read everything. But I decided after reading and seeing number 315 on that list, I must do this. It is my life goal. I could not do anything. I forced myself to eat some chicken strips, and then I left the house before 11 o'clock in the morning. Well, I am not even kidding. This is how ridiculous I was. I was holding my phone like this holding it to show, just to look at it, and my hand was shaking reading the number 315. I was like, there is no way this is happening, there's no way. Still, after I got home that day, I was still waiting to wake up. Like, I could not believe it actually was in service. Like, I think I'm still waiting to wake up from that. Absolutely crazy. Anyways, it's awesome. You'll get to see some of the things in here. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little mini montage, but not really a montage. I'm going to do some before and after comparisons. Firstly, I think I'm going to show you a clip of number 315 pulling into the Pioneer PlayStation, as I did record it coming in. And then I will do a couple of shots of, here is what, because we got really lucky. After arriving at the Pioneer Square Station to go back home on the Blue Line again, we happened to get a Type 3. It was either number 306 or 307. I recorded it on here. I forgot the number. This was just yesterday I did this too. That's interesting. Timelines are weird because this video is actually going to be edited and it'll go up in a few days. But anyway, we got on number 306 or 307, so it was a pretty direct comparison with number 315. And yeah, so I will show you some of the shots. I purposefully kind of filmed certain things on number 307, 306, 307, whatever it was, and recorded those so that you could see kind of before and after. Yeah, they're pretty awesome. Here are some before and after shots. So, those were some of the visual differences between number 315 and all the other Type 3s. You're gonna maybe have noticed that it rides pretty much or like it sounds pretty much the same, so all of the auditory stuff is pretty much the same. It does still have, at least to my knowledge, the same or very similar air conditioning from what I could tell by the sounds of it. The propulsion is exactly the same, but it has one issue, and it may have been fixed. It may just be that the train needs to be broken in a little bit because they don't really run it. When they went out and did the photo shoot back in June, and they brought it out to the turnaround, the 11th Avenue turnaround in downtown Portland, they brought the train out there and they parked it as a single car, just number 315. But this time it's being coupled with number 205 and 315. If I were to okay, I'll get into more of that later. I'll show you how to find number 315 and how you can guarantee yourself you're going to get it later. But let's not jump the gun here. But anyways, back to the propulsion. It's very strange. It's very lurchy. It's very jumpy. So as it's going, my only theory, it just seems like it'll be going and then they give it a lot of power, and so you're getting like whiplash on the train while it's like, what's going on here? I only have one theory to this, and it has something to do with just the propulsion system itself. I've talked about in my Max 101 series before that there's a lever that switches between the propulsion steps. And my guess is some of the lower propulsion steps just aren't working, or they're not, it's just really sluggish, so you have to bring it up to a really high propulsion setting to even get it going at a reasonable pace. And so as you're going through downtown Portland, or at least on the case of Friday, the first day of them running this, as we were leaving the stations on the transit mall, it seemed like we were very slowly creeping forward, and then we'd give it a lot of power, and it just seemed very like shaky like that, like it was speeding up and then speeding up, and then it was very jarring. So there are still a couple of things that may need to be ironed out, or it's possible that it just needs to be broken in more because it has been sitting in the yard and sitting in one spot for so long. I'm not really sure, but I'm sure it'll all get ironed out and 315 will be just like new as it already is. You guys get a 9.99 out of 10. Congratulations, pat yourself on the back. Tips and tricks time. Here is how you can guarantee yourself you will ride number 315 as long as you know how to plan around a clock. Here's what you do. You go to rosecitytransit.org. Here's how I do it. Go to the Rose City Transit website and go to this system mapper. It'll show you all the buses, and just do the static thing. Now this is going to bring up a list of all of the Max and buses. I don't know why the 4200s are combined in here. But anyway, if you scroll down to this point, there's the proof. 315, Blue to Hillsborough. Okay, this 9003 right next to the car number here, that is what's known as a block number. I might talk about that in more detail later, but basically it's the schedule that the train runs on. And I have actually talked about it before on Train ID, whatever Max 101 episode that was. I think it was like 11 or 12. Okay, now that 03 is that number you see on the front of the train. So when you say, hey, what train number are you? What's your train ID number? 03. If you notice, all the Max ones start with a 90, a 90, and then a 2-digit number. Though that's the train number. We don't care about the 90. But what we do care about is the 03. Anyway, I'm probably overloading your brain. But 9003, click on that, and it gives you a very expanded, crazy chart that goes through every single stop name and when it arrives. So, right now it's 8:56 p.m. Yes, I'm filming this really late at night. So we go down to 2056, that's the current time right now, and let's see where it's at right now. 2056 is, well, let's say 2057. It's at the Washington Southeast 12th Avenue Max station, and it is going to Hillsboro. So it's going to arrive in Hillsboro soon. But, yeah, so that's how you know. That's a very simple way of checking that. So, you could plan that and say, well, if I go to the Sunset Transit Center station, for example, let me check what time it'll show up. That way I know how long I need until I can find it. Or whatever line it's on. Let's say you live off of the Kenton station on the yellow line, and you see that it happens to be running on the yellow or orange line that day. Well, you could just go to the Kenton station and then just check the app and see, oh, it's going to be arriving in 11 minutes. Let's wait here for 11 minutes and get your camera ready, wait near the middle of the platform in case it's the front or the back or whatever. And yeah, that's how I did that. That's how I knew. Still, we got to the Pioneer Square station on the blue line almost an hour before number 315 showed up. So I just said, you know what, let's just go down to the Pioneer Place Mall and hang out there for like almost an hour. Then we went back to the street to the Pioneer Place area to wait for the orange line, and we ended up waiting 15 minutes because an orange line showed up and it wasn't number 315. Then a green line showed up. Then finally the next train was the next orange line, and it was number 315. So, I showed you little bits and pieces of what number 315 looks and sounds like, but now, and I might be the first, well, unless somebody beats me to it, but at least as of this moment in time, I might be the first YouTuber to ever film number 315. No, that's not true at all. Oregon Building Railfan filmed it a year ago when they were first testing it that I've showed before, but I will say that I may be the first to actually film the train ride somewhere. What I'm going to do, I haven't done it yet, and this time I really got to make sure I do this, as this is important. You guys do definitely want to watch this. I'm going to edit both videos, from Pioneer Place to Milwaukee, and from Milwaukee back to Pioneer Courthouse. I'm no longer going to put those stop names in the corner, because I think those are a little bit distracting. However, I have discovered the use of chapters, and so I will add chapters, and each new chapter will be as we enter a new station. So if you want to follow along, then just look at the chapter names on those Max Ride videos. Those will be coming soon. Hopefully I can get those all edited within the next few days so that tomorrow I can upload the trip to Milwaukee, and the next day I'll upload the trip back to Pioneer Courthouse. But I'm not making any promises on that. Thank you for watching this video. I am running out of time on this memory card, and I need to edit. I have my work cut out for me, don't I? I will see you soon.